Salutations, one and all, and welcome to the Drop Dead Gorgeous Gallery. I am your host, the sinister one, Murky Monday. Yes, and allow me to be your guide in our newest exhibit, our exhibit of everyday legends, and this is a San Antonio legend, the Night Rocker. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. What can I tell you about this person right here, the Night Rocker? He is a fixture in the San Antonio music scene. I would venture to say that if you have anything to do with the music scene in San Antonio, and you don't know who the Night Rocker is, then you really aren't part of the music scene in San Antonio. This man, I don't know if he is a musician personally himself, but I know that this man is a promoter of shows and all kinds of things. And I've seen him in several different venues many years and years and years ago, back when I was in the scene as a person who would go and see shows. But since then, he's still a part of the music scene here. And as well, he is a part of the music scene all across the country. He does all kinds of things in the music industry, all over the place. And the thing that I appreciate about Night Rocker is that he goes and he visits the grave sites of legends. That's right. And I think that is a very admirable thing, because it touches in on what I'm trying to get at here with the Drop Dead Gorgeous Gallery, and how and why I paint the portraits the way that I do. Because it is very much, touching in on greatness, everyday greatness, and legendary greatness. But then also understanding that, we're here for a good time, baby, not a long time. You understand that we're here and then we're not. And so in appreciation of all the things that some of the greatest musicians and just people in the industry have done, this man goes and he pays homage to them at their gravesite, that they are legendary and not forgotten. And that's something that it touches me, because it's like, people think that, like for instance, one of my greatest heroes in music is Ace Frehley, and he was the first person that I did kicking off the Drop Dead Gorgeous Gallery, because the man is a legend, just incredible guitar player. And when he passed, it kind of felt some kind of way to me. I've never met the man, but I've seen him in concert, right? And so now when I get a chance to go back to New Jersey, I can go visit his grave, you know what I mean? And that means something, that people touch our lives, and that's kind of what I want to get at, the fact that, in some form or fashion, we're everyday legends, to somebody, and let me say that when I first met Night Rocker, it was, in the 90s, when I was doing tattoos at a shop in downtown San Antonio called Fleshworks. And I was working with a guy named Joe Haas, who is a local DJ for KZEP, and he was doing piercings there, and Roy and Buzzy, who owned the spot. And we all went over to Night Rocker's pad one night to go party and have a good time and chill out, and kick back a few beers and, burn a few twigs and shit, and had a good time. And, like I said, I would see him out and about, different venues, different shows and stuff like that. and he was just always a good dude, you know, good to hang out with, fun, you know, and it was just one of those things where, you know, like I said, you know, he's a local legend here in the music scene, and you get to be that way because you're a good dude, you know what I mean? And people see that and recognize that, and they want to hang out and chill with you, you know what I mean? And that's the vibe you get from the Night Rocker. Let me say that I remember, you know, going to Taco Land to see some of my friends' bands play there. And one of the things, you know, that he has, the Night Rocker has taken on his heart is making sure that everybody has, you know, that feeling about Taco Land and Ram, you know, in their hearts. You know, he put together a tribute for Ram. And unfortunately, here in the last few years, we've lost some good friends, and you know, he's done some memorials for friends. You know, he's, you know, really a real dude, and you know, San Antonio, I think, certainly sees him as the legend that he is, and I consider him a legend. That's why I wanted to paint his portrait. I hope I did him justice. When I do these things, I ask everybody, you know, 5 questions, you know, to have them, you know, the idea of this is, you know, the portrait painting and the memento mori, the fact that we're here and that we're not, to take a minute to think about, you know, our own mortality. And, you know, I ask everybody 5 questions, right? And the first question I ask is, what would be your last meal? You know, what would you eat going out the door? And his last meal would be a cheeseburger. You know, and as far as I'm concerned, San Antonio, you know, Sam's Burger Joint is one of the tops. But, you know, then there's, you know, Burger Boy. And, you know, to me personally, you know, I'll try to hit up Griff's on the south side for that cheeseburger for sure. What 3 songs will be playing at your viewing? The Night Rocker picked Monster Magnet, Power Trip, yeah, and Metallica, Fade to Black, and of course, you know, Mr. Blue Eyes, Frank Sinatra, I Did It My Way. Yeah, great songs. And I asked him, who would you have, you know, give the eulogy at your funeral? And he picked none other than Samuel L. Jackson, motherfucker. Yes, of course. Who else? Who could? You couldn't top that. You couldn't top having Sam Jackson give the eulogy at your funeral, motherfucker. Right? And then it was, when you get to the other side, who would be the first person you would seek out to spend some time with? And of course, it was his mom. Yeah, you know, my mom's on the other side, and I would certainly seek her out when I get there, right? Gotta love mom, miss mom. And the last thing I ask is, what would be your final last words? And the Night Rocker, his final last words are words that are near and dear to my heart too. And that is, don't be a pussy. Man, we only get one shot at this. We only got one opportunity to make anything happen for ourselves here. And we're here for a short time. And that's the thing, you know, time is way more valuable than money. You know what I mean? Because you can't take none of that money with you. You can't take anything with you. The only thing that you can take are the memories that you make in your mind, in your life, in your soul. That's what you're leaving here with. The time that you spend with other people, the time that you spend listening to music, traveling, doing all kinds of great things. That is what you leave here with. Right? And so take the risk, do all kinds of things, you know, don't go out of here with a pristine, pretty body. Put some miles on that bad boy, do something. And you know what, man, don't be scammed. Don't be scared. Don't be a pussy. You know, I mean, there's no truer words can be said. You know, go out there and get it done, and stop being, you know, a pussy. Now, on the other hand, I would say that pussies are certainly more tough than dicks. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna say, you know, certainly don't be a pussy, but at the same time, don't be a dick either. Gee whiz. I don't know what's going on in this world, but I can say this. We're only here for a little while, you know. Let's try to love each other and be good people. Let's try and enjoy the beauty that this world has to offer. You know what I mean? Let's go have a good cheeseburger. Let's go listen to some good music. Let's, you know, laugh at some Pulp Fiction quotes, motherfucker. You know what I mean? Let's go hug mom while you got mom, right? Give mom a phone call, because some of us can't, right? And don't, whatever you do, don't be a pussy, right? I would like to say thank you for watching. I appreciate you, Mr. Roland Fuentes, for jumping in and helping me out with this. I would like to say thank you for all of my friends and everyone who's participated and helped with the Drop Dead Gorgeous Gallery. There's a lot more to come, a lot more things going on, and I'm just going to paint until I paint everybody's face, including your face. You know, I would love to paint you. You're a local legend in wherever you're from. You're legendary to somebody, and you know what? I would love to paint you. So hit me up. My number shows up here. There's ways to contact me. Just, you know, hit me up. We'll get together and we'll figure out a way to, you know, get you painted up. You know, I take this very seriously, but at the same time, you know, it's kind of that smile of death. You know, it's also, you know, tongue in cheek. It's fun, you know. And like I said, you know, we're here for a good time, not a long time, baby. So, you know, let's try to make the most of it and enjoy. Night Rocker, rock on, Night Rocker. Wherever you may go, wherever you may roam, sir. Peace. Thank you for watching.
Thank you for your visit to the Drop Dead Gorgeous Gallery. We hope you enjoyed your time while you were here. We encourage you to come back with your earliest convenience. If you would like to be a victim, an exhibit in the gallery, contact us. Thank you.